I feel really strongly about the public mission of the museum, and that it's really important that the state of North Carolina, 75 years ago decided that it was part of the social contract to establish an art museum. And I like the way that our conception of what art is expanding, and so that even though our collection and what is considered good or great or meaningful art is very different than it was when the museum was founded, I think that's completely understandable and to be welcomed. So the piece that I have in Talent Within is a portrait that I made a few years ago of a visionary artist named Paul Laffoley. And he was a very interesting guy, and I had a chance to meet him and photograph him a few years ago. For such an interesting and unusual person, he seemed very at ease with sitting in front of the camera, and so it's an interestingly stayed portrait, and I thought it was nice. I love working at the museum, and it's a total honor to be really close every day to really good art. And sometimes it's an impediment because, you see really great examples of art and you're like, I can't do that. But then sometimes it just seeps in and it influences you. I find it interesting here because what I do as a photographer here at the museum is almost 180 degrees from what most photographers do, which is to idealize their subject in some way, to make it look better, make the subject, improved through photography, whereas what I'm trying to do is to sort of create an objectively neutral, accurate rendering. Then when I'm doing my own work, that desire to say something comes back into play, but it's tempered by, my workflow here. And so I find that doing portraits, and particularly portraits of artists, to be a good way to sort of blend those two impulses and those two, objectives. I really like Julia Kasten's piece. That really spoke to me, and I like how she lets the voices of others sort of turn into a work of its own. And Blakely's ink on paper was really great. David Eichenberger's work, it's killer, it's so nice. I love Angela's silver point drawings. I've seen those before, and those are pretty amazing. I'd say the most surprising piece to me is Eric Gray's flag piece. And of course, it totally makes me think of Jasper Johns flags, and so it's having a very interesting conversation with things that are happening in the world and with art. I think that's appropriate.